Yes. Yes, y'all. We're back in effect. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Coffee Break with JN. I feel like a good morning Vietnam up in here. Good to see everybody. Yo, who's in the building? Who's in the building? Hold on. I see whole lot of superstars up in here. I see I see Lord Jamal. What up, brother? Yo, is it SUZE Pose Thursday yet? We starting off early. All right, hold on. Let me get you. I got you. As if you said it, I did it. And then if I did it, I meant it. Oh, wow. This light is hot. How are you guys? I got to tell you guys tonight, there's a lot going on. Good evening. Good evening, Brother Matt. How are you? What up, Clean? Oh, we just did it. I'll do one more because I think the first one wasn't hot. All right. There you go. That's for you, Clean. How are you? How are my caffeines tonight? Suze, Suze, I gotta tell you, Queen Suzanne makes the world go round. Everybody's everybody's got a brand new dance now. Everybody's doing the Suze pose. They're running wild in the streets, cousin. It's crazy. It's crazy out here in the streets. It's almost like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they had to grease up the poles. People going wild for Sue's pose. Clean says she did it twice. You're soaking in it. Yo, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, Arturo. How are you, brother? My good man, Art Baltazar. I'll do it. I'll do this for Art. Swig of coffee. Art does swig of coffee on his coffee time with a famous cartoonist. But I do sippers, so sip of coffee for brother Art. My brother in arms, my brother in cartooning. Yeah, swig, brother. Um, JRD, that's fantastic. My undiagnosed ADHD is on full tilt tonight, guys. I got a lot going on. Um, I have my book stuff that's going on. I have some work stuff that I'm in the middle of dealing with. Um, and so there may be a couple of times where I may have to just like go blank for a minute just because I got to handle some stuff. I have people. I'm looking at my phone. I'm waiting on stuff, and like 9 o'clock happened. So this is where we're at. So if I have to kind of like click off for a second, don't everybody leave. I'll be back, but I just might have to catch some stuff. Clean, thank you so much. Clean said she pre-ordered 5 copies of Leon. That's crazy. Thank you so much. And Clean's talking about I revealed on Pencil to Pencil last night the cover for Leon Extraordinary, um, which was super cool. That I just posted because I thought people would be excited more than it was just an Amazon link. The pre-order for Target, so you can cop Leon at Target, hardcover and soft cover. Very excited about that. So thank you so much. um, yeah, everybody, I love the energy in here. Um, So I want to get to some housekeeping. So last week I said that we were going to have a SUZE pose challenge. I got a couple of entries earlier in the week. I got one that came exactly after the show was over. Thank you so much. And I got a couple earlier today, and then I just got a flood all of a sudden. Let's just wait. Let's just wait till next week because I already have a bunch of plates spinning. So I'll give you guys an extension. Please, most of you guys are friends of mine on Facebook, or you follow me on Insta or Insta and Twitter, Insta or Twitter. Just message me and send me your picture. I want to see your best shoes pose. And you can flip it or freak it, however you do it. But and we'll have a vote, and whoever has the best shoes pose, I'll send them something really nice. Shoes pose freeze frame. Sip of coffee for Thursdays. Is it Thursday yet? So yeah, how's everybody doing? Um, yeah, so this is me kind of having to do five things at the same time. Hope everything's see. I almost feel like I should have another guest host tonight just so I can get through this. It's really one of those days. I'm sure, sometimes when you guys go, "Oh, sorry I missed it. Oh, I came in late. Sorry I missed it." I usually try to clear the decks for coffee break. That's what it is. It's a coffee break. I'm working on stuff and I push away from the desk for an hour to be with you. But it's just one of those days, just one of those days. Yeah, you get a homework extension. Clean didn't know. Yeah, that was from last week. So everybody has to mail in their best shoes pose. Clean says, "You so fancy with your multiple devices and the entirety of the world converging at the same." Isn't that how it happens? Isn't this what we do? And there's parts of me that feels like, well, this is really fantastic that you can be a place where you're needed or wanted or people depend on you for things, but then at the same time it's just kind of like it's karmic or something. It's just like things just all kind of happen at the same time all the time. So I just got to keep my eyes peeled in a couple of different directions while I'm working on this, and my phone might ring. But you get to see me, the real me. This is me. As Clean knows, some of you guys who know me in a couple of different ways know that I'm always doing this. If you've seen those very old images of this, is like a vaudeville act, right? Where there's a guy holding on a stage with a bunch of dowels or long, thin sticks. If you don't know what a dowel is, spinning plates, and one starts to wobble, and he runs over, and the crowd's like, oh, "Will it fall?" But he gets it going again, and then another one gets wiggly. Will it fall? That's my life. Really, that's just how it is. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Grooming. Art says, "Good beard, sir. Thank you. I need to shave this. I feel like I'm spending more time like doing some sort of like Asian martial artist beard thing, and I need to work on that. I don't, it's getting a little out of hand. Um, but yeah, but thanks for that, brother. Yeah, you know what? I tell people when they meet me, especially like in work settings, I say, "I'm sorry." This is my new thing off the bat, off the jump, from the gate, however you want to say it. "I'm sorry. I have a lot going on." And people are like, "No, no, 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 I get it." But you don't really get it. And one of the best things that I've been doing lately is learning how to say no. I'm not amazing at it. No is one of the hardest words to say. But I got asked to do a lot of things already this year, and I had to say no. And it goes against all of my programming, right? It's just kind of like you get to a certain point because you have to make your own opportunities or make your own luck. And then to get to a point where you have to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't fit it in. Kind of goes against your wiring, you know? But, but also I've seen that people they kind of respect your gangster when you're not available. Like that's some whole like Matrix stuff. Oh, well, he said he can't right now. Okay, well, let's give him something, even hotter next time. It doesn't always happen. Clean says that's what those young whippersnappers call adulting. Facts. JRD is sharing my pain. We're commiserating. JRD says, if it helps, I'm updating metadata on 2 books, copying hard drives, and here on coffee break all at the same time. So yeah, plate spinning. Wheel stop. Oh, I messed it up. Car stop. Wheel still spinning. What up, brother Bill? Bill says, spinning plates and bouncing balls. The balls can fall, but the plates got to keep spinning. Is that like those old acts where you see the kid dribbling a ball and then he dribbles another ball? People love that stuff. It's like, wow, how can you do all this stuff at the same time? Sue says, what's the t-shirt or coffee cup? All right, let me see what I got here. Hold on a second. This is, I wear this once in a while. This is my Sketch Wallet t-shirt. I think this is Mr. Inky. I love this shirt. I got that because I backstarted. Oh my God. I kickstarted this campaign. This is years, might have been 5 years ago, for like a leather wallet that has inserts, like mini sketchbook inserts, and then it came with a little pencil. And if you like to keep a journal in your back pocket, it's a perfect little device. And to be honest, I don't use it. I actually kickstarted it because, if some of you guys also know, I'm the crusty critic. Yeah, we don't even talk about the crusty critic. Some of you guys have known me from my articles in Draw Magazine. And it's really cool once in a while in the before times. Some very famous cartoonists will come over and go, oh man, I love your articles in Draw. I was like, my heart grew 4 sizes that day. But I sometimes I would just order stuff or reach out to people for stuff. And that was cool. And I did a write-up on it. And then I just kind of didn't use it. So it's all good. So that's what this is. And then the coffee cup is, my boy, Jim Lujan. Jim's probably in the chat somewhere. This is his Mind of Lazarus animation series I did a voice on. It's on YouTube. You should go check it out. Jim usually will pop up in the chat to put himself over. So maybe we'll see him. Speaking of no, Clean says, no was even harder than I'm sorry or I love you. No was really tough. Yo, facts. 30 hours a day is rough. It's true. And we were talking about this on Pencil to Pencil last night, that I think a lot of people don't understand that being a cartoonist kind of is a longer day than, say, if you're just a 9 to 5 guy, and at 5 o'clock you punch out and you go home and watch Wheel and have a beer or whatever. And one of my favorite quotes, and I think it was anonymous who said it, is more, I guess, more to the tune of working at home, which now since COVID, a lot of people have now had a dalliance of what that really feels like. Is when you work from home, you're always working. So like I want, and this is maybe a good question for anybody that's booed up or has a partner or a roommate or a spouse or somebody you keep in a dungeon. How did COVID affect you? If you were somebody who was always working, always at work, always at the office, and then had to switch to being home, How did that butt up against the other person that you live with? Did it work out? Is it magnificent, or was it like, bro, I gotta get out of here. This is driving me insane. I'd love to talk about that. What up, Jojo? I see you. Clean says, "Who are all the faces in the back of your studio? Was that from Fistic Knife Gun?" Yes, that's this poster over here was a poster from my. I had a solo exhibition at Arcadia University back in 2013 called World Building. You can see the lecture on, I think it's on YouTube, that it was me and Mike Manley. Huh, surprise. Um, and I talked about my exhibition, and this was the poster, which is a enlarged original page from Fistic Knife Gun, where little Jeff is. This is my Basima heads. Little Jeff is surrounded by a bunch of other little black boys that look exactly like him, and that's a whole other thing going on. I wanted it to tie into the feeling of being alone in a crowd of other people, and also like identity, and the fact that people who don't like people like me think we all look alike, because it's easy to not have to pay attention to that. So that's what that's from. Thanks, Clean. Hmm. All right, I think my thing is going over here. Let's see. Hey, what up, Miguel? Good to see you, brother. Lucky or unlucky, I worked through the whole thing. Yeah, and that's great because I know. Yeah, let's not even talk about all of that. But I know that some people were fortunate enough to this not really affect them. I know a lot of cartoonists were like, I was born for this. Well, one thing that I was always interested in at the beginning of this is I remember before, and this isn't a first world problem thing, but it was like before all this happened, say if you work from home or you had a studio and you were the creative in your pod, whatever your deal is. And sometimes there'd be resistance against what exactly it is you do all day. What do you do all day? You're not really working all day, are you? You got to be napping or watching blind date reruns on TV or going to the diner with your friends. But now, when everybody's home, you see how quickly a day goes by, right? And I think it kind of leveled the playing field a little bit with just respect to people who work from home. It's like, oh man, where'd the day go? It's 3:30. I just got a coffee and then I had a sandwich. Now it's 4 o'clock. Yeah. Joe says, excellent answer. Wheel was never a thing for me. Wheel for wheel. Wheel was never a thing for me. I'm a wheel watcher. El Jamal says, my Canadian boo doesn't live with me, but my kids do. With all of us home, we had to each have designated spaces, or what do they call that? Mad space. Clean. What up, Clean? Clean says, Pat heard my customer service voice. Then the stream of sailor curses that happened immediately after the call hung up. I feel like I missed something. Did you? Was there a beginning to this? All right, I'm just going to keep reading it. He also heard how much TLC I give to my patients and families and understood why I'm empty at the end of the day. Yeah, you leave it all on the battlefield. Facts. JRD says, I get less done daily because of the added noise of Zoom calls in high school classes. I changed my sleep cycle and started working from 10 to 4. Yeah. All right, hold on. I got to just check my John here. Okay. Oh, so you do a 6-hour chunk. Remember we talked about dominoes, JRD? If anybody wasn't here for that, I talked about the dominoes a long time ago. I was a big fan of this one vlogger, Casey Neistat. I don't know if he still is as relevant as he was at some point, but he was like this New York videographer who would just film his day. And he had this giant studio somewhere in Manhattan. and he would just make stuff or do stuff. And one of his videos talked about time management, and he said some really intriguing things. One of his ideas is that if you think about time as 24, 20, just 24 hours in a day, right? And you get 24 dominoes, and he spray painted some of them. The red dominoes are work. The yellow dominoes are family or free time or something like that. And then the black dominoes are sleep. However you move that around, it's still 24 hours. So what are you doing with your dominoes? And some of the old caffeines, when I say, hey man, dominoes, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's like you just got to move that stuff around and make it work. What up, Matt? Matt says, Susan and I work at the same agency, so it's all good. She works super late, though. I used to pull a 36-hour shift standing on my head, but even if I'm busy now, I can't go past midnight. Self-care, bro. Oh, I'm sorry. I felt like I had missed something there. What up, Big Red? What up, Joe? I still am like that at work. Suze says, thank you so much for doing Coffee Break and your other podcast. So grateful. I give that love back to you. There's a lot of great stuff going on in the chat. I gotta pick something. Bill says, the ironic part is, and Bill, I gotta say, thanks for coming back around. You kind of disappeared for a while, but I'm glad you're back in our hearts. Bill says, the ironic part is now management is expecting folks to come back to the office just to meet on Teams or Zoom in the office. Bruh. Crazy. Yeah, okay, cool. So, it's tough out here in these streets, cousin. Yeah, where'd the day go? I say that all the time. And, I think when people, even thinking about like when kids have a snow day, remember back when that happened? And then, you'd be like, oh, no school today. Oh, that's what's up. Have some cereal. Maybe we'll put on your snowsuit and go kick around outside. Next thing you know, it's 3:30. And it's like, wow, this would be about the time I'd be getting home from school right now. And it's not really that much different. The time, you don't have all of this time like you think you do. But yeah, man, I know it's rough out here, and I respect everybody for what they bring to the table. Oh, hold on, wow, I think I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Sue says Mike Manley talking about the hours of a cartoonist was brutal. At the desk at 5 a.m., always working, and it's not. I'm not telling tales out of school. A lot of us marvel about the output that Mike does. And I say it all the time, and people are like, oh, stop playing. Like, Mike, if I called him right now and say, Mike, what are you doing? It's like, I'm drawing. What is it? He does 2 legacy comic strips in the newspaper at the same time. But, and we even said on the podcast last night, it's like this, that's just how he's been programmed, and that's how he works. And there's nothing else matters but the job, right? I just, I think everybody has their, scale of what they can do or what they can handle. And, Mike's a beast with it. So, sip of coffee from my buddy, Mike Manley. Did you guys like boot camp last night? I think we had a really good episode. Mike talked about the rhythm and rhythmic illustration, and we looked at a lot of Buscema art. The chat's always really quiet for pencil to pencil because I just assume everybody's watching. And I always say this little weird thing like, And I'm sure if people watch art tutorials or little like sped up art things on YouTube, everybody's like, wow, look at the thing. And I always try to say things like when Mike's drawing, and I'm going to do some boot camp soon, like, yo, pay attention. Like, I know you're getting ensorcelled. That's my big word for the night. Ensorcelled by the magic trick of cartooning. How did they do that? There was nothing there. Now but if you can kind of put that aside and actually look at the mechanics and look at what the lesson is, you'll get more out of it. And that's why I said on the podcast last night, it's like when you go teach or you've done a chalk talk in front of kids. It's like, all right, flip the thing. So what we're going to do here? And everybody's like, yo! And you lose the room every time you start drawing. And the kids are like, draw SpongeBob. Yo, draw Naruto. And it's just like, yo, okay, we're not here for that. People get caught up in the magic trick. But yeah, Miguel says listening intently, hard to think of questions. No, I feel you on that. But sometimes I feel like there's a perfect opportunity there, and I don't know, maybe I think about it too much. But even when I put the signposts up, that's what I call the Facebook and YouTube reminder graphic. Like if we have these people on, I would be thinking about like, yo, oh, you're gonna have Art Adams on. I always wanted to ask Art about dot dot dot, and like just send me the question. Nobody ever does that. It's all good though. Oh, I didn't do it tonight. No, no, notorious. JRD says Hawthorne was a trip on his live, and JRD is talking about Mike Hawthorne's Patreon. He does a live uh, studio drawing in front of his patrons once a month. I think he drew Deadpool and barely drew an underdrawing, and that's the skill, talent, and years of practice. That made me think of Allen Iverson. Practice. We talk about practice. Going back to the busy part, Bill says, "Oh yeah, it's the we have to make sure you're staying busy by knowing you're in the office. Office space makes so much sense now." Yeah, why don't you go ahead and get me those? What was it? The TPS reports, PC load letter. So now the chat's talking about Brian Stelfreeze. I think Brian's art makes people mad that it's so good. That's funny. I think this would be a perfect time for an idea. What do you think? I think we should do it. You're watching Coffee Break with JN, with your boy JN, Jamar Nicholas, the man of many hats, the man with man-y faces. Can I just say I'm not a He-Man dude? Let's put it out there. Not in the Masters of the Universe. Sorry, sue me. Some know me as the ambassador of Philadelphia, Johnny Carson, Captain Scholastic, if you may, and your internet best friend. Well, hello. What's going on here tonight? Well, you may watch me, cartoonist Jamar Nicholas, drink this coffee and run my mouth. And when I'm out of coffee, you know what happens next. I hope you guys are enjoying the episode right now. We're having a lot of fun. While I have this up, and things are starting to calm down for me, my attention being split. So we're almost out of the woods yet. We're getting there. This would be a perfect time to do a GLO. You know what GLO is. Good looking out to my Patreon supporters at the $2 level. We're getting close, you guys, to 50. Never thought I'd have 50 Patreon patrons, or patronuses, as I like to call you. You know who you are, you patronuses. But I have this thing. Like, I feel like if we can get to 50, such a nice number, 50, right? 5 away, you guys. Tell your friends, tell your mama, I'm like, Ma, you got to come check this dude out. And he's so handsome. For the price of the New York hot dog, a New York vendor hot dog, you could be supporting my art career. And like I said this last week, you could have easily just bought a hot dog and spilled half of it down your blouse on your way to the office. But nah, don't do that. Back the winning team. And if you're interested, check it out. I have several tiers. I have, you guys know, you, Mr. Postman, you know it's coming. I have a very grand package of items going out. I do stickers, I do pins, I do all types of stuff just for you, my Patronuses. So you're not going to see it anywhere else. And also, I do a fortnightly podcast with my best bud, Mike Hawthorne. That's right. Daredevil, Mike Hawthorne, Deadpool, Mike Hawthorne, Wonder Woman, Mike Hawthorne. We chop it up real nice every 2 weeks. There's a lot of people that say, hey, you know what? I bought the whole seat, but I only need the edge, bro. I'm here for It Ain't Hard to Tell. You could be one of those people. So what are you waiting for? 50, 50, 50. Yo, Suze, what's the word? Thunderbird, what's the price? Philly Donahue, that's what's up. Oh, JRD calls for a coffee check. All right, cool. Let me see what's going on in this cup. All right, started from the top. Now we here. All right. You ready, guys? Oh, man, that hurts. I got to do the Denzel gif. My heart, my heart. You like fire? You like fireballs? Yeah, man, I'm super geek for that. You know, a sip of coffee from my man Mike Hawthorne. It's doing amazing work. Matt says, I wasn't in the Masters of the Universe either. Too poor as a kid. Those figures are, El Jamal is my resident Master of the Universe guru. How much was a He-Man figure in the streets back in the 80s? I think they were like $5 or $6, $7, right? Were they like, I'm feeling like 575 because it was like a big chunky, like those old professional wrestler dudes that didn't move. Like you could buy the 3-pack of the Road Warriors and they just were like this. You couldn't even like pose them. How much were those? Yeah, I was a big G.I. Joe nerd. That was my deal. See, thanks, El Jamal. They were $10. Was that for like a vehicle, or is that just a straight up dude? Like Ram Man was $7. See, you know what? I feel like Masters of the Universe, that was kind of like, there had to be a little bit of like a flex. Like, yo, I got a lot of He-Man dudes. You know what I mean? It means you're kind of like socking away some like paper route money or something. Like you could cop a G.I. Joe for like $3. I think the Joes are $3, right? I remember and I could talk on G.I. Joe more than this. You could there was like a range because kids just think by, not really by price because we don't have any money, but it's like what you would get in trouble with the most with your mother for begging. You could get a man, as we used to call it that. Remember, it was like, Mom, we going to Woolworths. Can I get a G.I. Joe man? Yeah, just hurry up. You could probably sneak by getting a Joe. But then if you're like, well, I want this vehicle, and they start making the $5 Johns, like the Trouble Bubbles, or like I think the motorcycle was 10. There was like a $5 vehicle, then there was a $10 vehicle, and then it started getting stupid. Like with the jet was like $50. Oh, Joe's shots fired. Right, and that's the thing. It's like, what are we going to learn? Clean says, did you know Barbies are $30? Is that how much a Barbie costs? Wait, so like regular, like basic Barbie, I'm sure that's a whole line. Basic Barbies were like 30 back in the day. I thought they were like at least a little cheaper than that. I used to think a Barbie was $12. Am I wrong? How off was I? Like, because I know you get like basic Barbie, but then there was the line, right? The town. She had the townhouse. She had a Corvette. You could get Ken and Skipper. Wait, like now, like if we went to Target right now, a Barbie is $30. Yo, that's crazy. But then you got to buy a little outfit pack. Like I'm an only child, but I grew up around some other people. Like I grew up around girls, and I knew girls that got girl stuff. As you get your Barbie hookup, and then you get some clothes layups, and you'd always lose the shoes, like the little high heels or whatever. They would never Barbie never had any shoes on because it just didn't. They never stayed on. But I didn't. How do you collect Barbies? Like, or as we used to call them in the streets, doll babies. But I think a Barbie's always been a Barbie. I think a doll baby was like a big headed doll that you would comb its hair. We're all over the place today. Clean says, okay, hold on. I'm not paying attention. Clean said a regular Barbie now is $30. Back in the day they were like 12 to 15. The fancy Barbies were like 20. Is that like what was that? Was that a was that teacher Barbie or the one Barbie they got in trouble with? Because when you pressed the Barbie, it said math is hard. Not even the Kung Fu Grip Barbie, man. What's going on? Oh, the holy grail of toys. Bill, the USS Flag was crazy expensive. Now that thing is like 2 to 3 thousand. One of my buddies has the flag, and he still talks about the flag. He has a whole summer long story about how he procured the USS Flag as a kid. And I think that's the biggest thing for us Gen Xers is that there's so much really rich memory that comes with this stuff. It's hard, it's just I hate to say it, it's just stuff, right? But that stuff is real enticing. And I just don't I understand how people get real heated when somebody's like, just get why you have a room full of toys? What's wrong with you? But when you go in there or you like look at that rock and roll figure with the machine gun, you're like, yeah, that's my dude. And you get transported to a whole other place. I don't think any other generations before or after us are going to feel the same way about this stuff. It was a very special time. JRT says, what denotes fancy Barbie? She won't ignore you in class. Oh no, JRD, that's rough. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Um, Sue says, Bionic Woman Barbie. With her dressing room complete with Bionics charging station by Fave, the fake rubber skin that rolled up her one arm to reveal the Bionics. Oh man, I remember this is like like I have some older cousins who were in the 12-inch like the GI Joe with like the original Joes were like big dolls, and then my generation of Joes were like the little guys. And then there was what action. Some of you guys are toy nerds way more than I am. Wasn't it? It was like Action Jackson, and then there was a couple of other ones. I remember they had the Bionic Man, Steve Austin, not Stone Cold Steve Austin, where they had the one where he had the scope in his eye, and there was a hole in the back of the doll's head, and you can stick your eye in the back of his head, and there's like the little crosshairs in it. And also, I guess Magos is kind of like the same thing, right? Big Jim. Clean says, my dude got his NASA Barbie taken away from him as a kid. I bought him one for Singles Awareness Day a couple of years back. You're so good. You're such a good person. Oh wait a minute, hold on. Joe says this is great. My midlife buy will be a white convertible Mustang with a 5 on the side and an M on the hood. Yo, sip of coffee for the Mach 5. I love it. And yeah, right. Say no more. I have a real soft spot for Star Blazers, man. Um, Matt says I had that $6 million man. You know what? I just hear people talking about the Oscar Goldman dolls. You can't even find Steve Austin anymore. And the rocket ship that turned into an operating table. But yeah. Bill says don't forget about Mego. I had a Mego. I had a Mego Spider Man, and that was my only guy. I think I had a Batman and Robin too, because they kind of went across publishers, right? They had um, DC and Marvel. And what was really big with us in the late 70s were Underoos. We have not talked about Underoos. Underoos was a game changer. Even if you were husky like Little Jamar, they still had your sides, bruh. Yo, what up, Adam? Reed Punk Taco. What's up, brother? Yo, Fletch, what's up? That Oscar Goldman doll came with an exploding briefcase. You see, it's just like it's like muscle memory. We just remember this stuff. Yeah, Mego had Planet of the Apes and Star Trek. I remember the Star Trek dolls were cool. I don't know. We totally got talking about toys, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back through here just make sure I'm not missing anything. JRD is explaining why stuff costs more now. Most of that is the price of plastic. Most toys are now made from plastics made from petroleum. I had no idea. I believe you though. Um, just to um, go back to this. So tonight we're going to do the SUZE pose challenge. And if you know what the SUZE pose is, you know what the SUZE pose is, guys. Where's my John? Our own Queen SUZE from the Caffeine Army. We like to lightly tease her about her inset picture next to her name. Oh, that was a good one. So it's so hot in the streets. We had to give it its own air. We had to give it air. So I said to the caffeines, you know who you are, caffeines. Let me shout you out real quick. I can hear Suzanne screaming at the monitor. Caffeines, you know who you are. Friends of regulars, not decaf, of Coffee Break with JM. I'm like, you know what, you guys, we all need to SUZE pose. When I say SUZE, you say pose. And I have this idea that every time I put SUZE pose up, everybody stops. It's like the Coffee Break with JN drinking game. Like when I say sip of coffee, do you guys actually sip your drink? When we do SUZE pose, do you actually stop? So I wanted to see your SUZE pose. You show me your SUZE pose. If you follow me in some fashion, send me a direct message or an email with the SUZE pose in it. And next week, because I gave you an extension, we're going to put them all on the screen and have a contest. Whoever has the best SUZE pose, and I don't think SUZE can win because it's you're already in the Hall of Fame because it's your picture. They're going to get a really special thing from me. I love it. Not decaf. I'll call here, JN. That's so great. That's right. The caffeine army. Oh, SUZE. There's no underoos for me. I was in women's sizes at age 9. Yeah, I feel you. It's rough out there for kids, right? I totally feel you on that. Adam says, I can't remember where and when I bought toys when I was 10, but can't remember yesterday at 47. Yeah, I remember. And I say this because I have a bunch of GI Joe heads that we talk about. I have very specific friends for specific things. Not like that's their only input in my life, but I'm sure you have people you can only talk about certain things with. And some of my Joe heads, I go, "Who was your first Joe?" I even put that on Facebook. Who was your first Joe? Oh, it was rock and roll. It was Zap. It was Grunt. Yo, it's Chuckles. Everybody goes Chuckles. Something really special about that stuff. And I remember my first Joe was, I kind of don't remember. I think it was either Snow Job or Torpedo. And I think I spent 10 minutes in the middle of the Woolworth 5 and dime. I couldn't decide. And you only got one, right? Because Mom's was real strict about that. Will you just hurry up and come on? Life is a short. It shouldn't be so rough. I think I picked Snow Job because he came with skis, a ski pole, and a rifle. Come on, bruh. Right? But all that stuff means so much to us. And I talk about Kid World all the time. That's why I write kids' books. I just remember the stuff like it was yesterday. In Kid World, you didn't have much to look forward to, pretty much. It was your birthday. Report cards was kind of a bad time for a lot of us. Like you wound up being in trouble when report cards came around. And the holidays, and that's kind of it. I was never good grades. You get something for your report card. I was a knucklehead student when I was a kid. I was a very distracted mess. I talked too much. Big surprise. And in high school, they said I was a ringleader. Who would ever think that I was a ringleader? Right? Caffeines. And I got in trouble when report card time came around. It wasn't a good time for me. And it's like whatever you got was really important and it was special and you kept it. Or you played with it till it just disintegrated. So I understand how people have a really strong emotional attachment to things like that. Facts. Oh, yeah, we shouting out places. Kitty World in Newcastle County. Yo, what's up, Lionel Kitty City or in the Golden Mile, McDade Boulevard out in Springfield? Yo, word up. No darn decaf up in this Mickey Ficky, this Major Falcon. Oh wow! So you talk about SUZE poses? People do stop, or when I do the SIPA. That's so funny. Oh yeah, that's it. SUZE should pose. SUZE should judge the SUZE pose. All right, SUZE, you win. You'll be the judge. Clean says, I don't sip my coffee, but I do count the wrap it ups, y'all, at the end of the show. That's my endearing drinking game. Yeah, not everybody shouts it out at the end because SUZE has to go, all right, y'all, you know what happens next. Say your goodbyes because it's over real fast. I love it. Oh, speaking about girl sizes underoos, SUZE, they did not get. Should I be reading this on the screen? SUZE, they did not give girls the same fair treatment. I was also in women's sizes by age 9. I feel like I should be reading this. All I wanted was Darth Vader underwear. Who doesn't want Darth Vader underwear? Everybody needs Darth Vader drawers. If not, what is America? Adam, what was stock with Joe's? We talk about Woolworth, or are you talking about Kitty World? I think I missed that. Jamal says, that's it. You weren't a Joe guy. You didn't have Joe's. Never had a Joe, but Thunder Punch He-Man was my first Masters of the Universe figure, followed by Battle Armor Skeletor. You see, it's like rote memory. Clean says, I used to get the Pizza Hut pan pizza for my report card and number of books I've read. That's why you're so well read. I love it. All right, guys, we'll do this real quick. If you had like a kid bribe, if you get good grades this quarter, you'll get what? Hey, some of us, we had it pretty rough growing up. Maybe it's like you'll have dinner tonight. I don't mean to make fun of that, but Mike Hawthorne and I play the Poor Chronicles on It Ain't Hard to Tell all the time. And it is what it is, right? And we're still here. We survived. But I'd love to hear something as a kid that you would look forward to if you did well. So a lot of that is kind of like Christmas be good or else bribes. Like, if you don't straighten up your act, you ain't getting nothing for Christmas. Okay. So sound off. I'd like to hear some of those, and then we're going to start wrapping this up. Oh, Adam says absolutely. I have almost all my Joes except for the ones that got stolen. Yo, facts. Don't let people come over your crib to play. We didn't call them play dates back then. Kids would just come through. And I remember, there's so much stuff that will come up missing. And then once in a while, I can't remember. Somebody told me a story about where they showed up at my place and they had Wild Bill. And if you remember, Wild Bill was the pilot of the Dragonfly, the helicopter. That Joe Copter was dope. I never had that. But I was like, yo, how you get Wild Bill? Because you got to have the helicopter to have this figure. And the kid was like, no, I stole it. And they didn't steal it from the store. They stole it from some other kid's house. Clean says, I was obsessed with all things animals. Littlest Pet Shop, pound puppies, model horses. I feel you on that. The Littlest Pet Shop were like the little tiny figures, right? Little figurines. Matt says, SUZE is your Ed McMahon. Yes! Hey-o! JRG says, I buy Star Wars Legos now because when my folks split, my father tossed all my toys, including a near complete Star Wars set. It's the recapturing my youth. Yeah. Yo, this is hilarious. I follow a lot of whatchamahooums. Video game people on Instagram, and some of them are like man cave game hoarders or whatever, or like rate my setup, rate my shelf, check out my complete set of Sega Saturn US games. And somebody was like, yo, rate my setup. And it was just like I don't know if we could talk about, I don't want to talk about TVs too much, but what's really in vogue right now are the old heavy as shit 90s tube CRT televisions, because they're perfect for playing those old game systems on. Your very nice 4K OLED plasma screen does not play NES games on it. It looks like trash. You need the old stuff. And the Rolls Royce of all that stuff are personal video monitors, or like, kind of like studio televisions, or like professional monitors to play this stuff. So this guy's got a Sony PVM on top of his setup. And on top of the PVM is the 70s Lego Space Galaxy Explorer. Somebody in this room was like, yo, this was a giant, like if you saw the Lego movie, like the spaceman with the cracked helmet, I totally fell in love with that, because we all had the space dude with the crack. The Galaxy Explorer was a holy grail of Legos back when I was a kid in the 70s. The thing had to have been $100 off the top in the 70s. In the 70s money, that's expensive, yo. And the guy had it on top of his TV like it was casual. And I was just like, I typed into the thing, that Galaxy Explorer though, with the eyeballs. Yeah, well, oh yeah, sip of coffee for the 5 and dime. Bill says, instant coffee if the guests show up unexpected. Yeah, brother. I got you unexpected. Okay, all right, we'll keep that to yourself. All right, here we go. It's starting. I'm looking at all of these. Oh, Matt had the reverse joint. Get good grades or we take this away. Oh, I have a lot of punishment stories. My mom's took the what am I talking about? My mom's took the Atari 2600 away. I remember there was an orange milk crate, and she went into my room. Oh, Mom, what are you doing? Just pulled the shit right out the back of the TV. It was wrapping the cords up. Bloop. Games. Bloop. Took it right to her room. No. Adam says, now I got to warn my kids, don't let any knucklehead friends borrow your toys. At the same time, trying to teach sharing. Yeah, that's tough. Because kids are scandalous, bro. Jamal says the Pizza Hut Book It program was the best. I started in second grade and was still around. Oh, I don't think I knew anything about that. Adam says I didn't get anything except for Christmas and birthday. No rewards for school. That sounds like a straight. This is a family thing. Like you're supposed to get good grades. You're not getting rewarded for it. Bill says if I did well at the end of the school year, family would get a Nintendo game, maybe a greatest hits one too. Right? So when at the end of your lifespan with the Nintendo, you have like 6 games. And I think I spent the whole episode talking about in Kid World, where I live a lot. There was the trade and barter system for Nintendo tapes. So and then once video stores started renting games, that even made your owning of games a lot lower because Friday night was takeout and Mom, can I rent a game? Can I rent a game? Can I rent a game? Yes, just get out of my face. And then if you got there too late at the video store, all the good stuff was picked over. Uh, yeah, I feel you on that. Jamal says my mom never throws anything away. She stored my Castle Gray Skull for 30 years before I reclaimed it. Yo, sip of coffee for Mom Dukes. Joe says my AFX track is the one thing I regret not getting from my parents' house. Double loop hairpin curve and parked circle on a 4x8 plywood. Had until parents' household in '08. Wow. I was going to do the Antonio Banderas gif when you said double loop, when he's just like, oh, I love it. Yeah, that stuff was hard to get. But do you remember this? And by Clean says she's got to go. There was this thing that came out. I think it was like 1981 or 82. It was the Lego Dream Book or something like that. And these were like these master builders who somebody put together this little. It was like a wish book filled with all of the Lego city and space stuff, and it kind of made this little silent story with Bill and Mary. There's two little Lego figs, and this is before there was a million different wigs and all that stuff. You just had the yellow head dude, and they didn't have any hair. But then they started doing like the kind of like we called it the Earth stuff, not the space stuff. And they started making little wigs and things for it. And they get into a spaceship and they go into space and they're in the Galaxy Explorer and then they come home. And it's just like man, my imagination was just like in high octane revving after seeing stuff like that. And for a lot of us from my generation, we weren't internet kids. You had to dream about stuff or wish for stuff, or just you might have had an image from a catalog. And the Sears Wish Book was like your ticket to ride. You get the Sears Wish Book, and they had these full blown dioramas of like all the Star Wars figures, like in a fight. And then they're on the Death Star, and like Luke is getting crushed in the trash compactor. You just be like, and that's all you had to go by. And that stuff is so. I think that's why it's so powerful for us, because we didn't have nothing. All right, I need to start wrapping this up. Everybody, Errol's, yo, yeah. Bill says my dad was a master of punishment. He simply took the power adapter for the Nintendo. Oh man, you go to crank up Contra and it's just like the cord's missing. That's so rough. Oh yeah, Didn't I just say that? The holiday catalog. That's what I meant. Yeah. Yagums. Bradley's. We had Bradley's. Bradley's was a store near us, and they had crazy dioramas with full Star Wars scenes set up. I'd go there and stare at them, wishing. You almost made me forget about going to Center City at Christmas, and we go to Strawbridge's, right? You go to Strawbridge's and Clothier, and then on the toy floor. I might have to go find some more images of this. It was like really old school. They had a little train on a track. It was almost like a monorail, like up against the ceiling, that would go around the whole floor. And then it was just they would do the same type of dioramas at Christmas. Oh my goodness. It was all about just inciting your imagination. That's awesome. Miguel says I would make Battlestar Galactica ships out of aluminum foil. Yo, the Colonial Viper was badass. See, we're really vibing tonight. Steve, what up? What up, middle-aged Steve Conley? I like the new graphic. Look at you with the with the beard. Steve says the Sears Wish Book taught me how to covet. That's our problem. Look at us. So Steve Conley all up in his Humpty Bumpty. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, see? Mm-hmm. SUZE is kicking us out. All right, we got to wrap this up. Matt said I would sometimes draw superheroes and cut them out and play with them like that. All right, the next week we're going to do more of this. Yes. Yo, what up, Joel? Is it Thursday yet, dude? We've been on an hour. I got to get out of here. Adam, that's some real rap. That's a cold splash of water. Collecting toys and comics kept me too broke to F with drugs or alcohol. Yo, facts. All right, let me try to do some. Did I do all my housekeeping? All right, I did. We did a GLO. I only did one coffee break. Coffee ID. Huh. Okay. Well, what I can do is this. Freeze frame SUZE pose. All right, you guys, this was fun. Thank you for dealing with. Oh, nice, El Jamal. We're gonna do it. Yo, he's nice with it. Jamal calls for a coffee check at the last minute. All right, brother, I got you. Gondor calls for aid, and Rohan will. All right, where were we last time? We were here. Started from the top. Now we here. That's tough. That's a hurt piece, as they say in the street. I love it, man. I look forward to this every week. You guys, I don't know where the time goes, but you come to me for Tabernacle as your internet safe space, as your internet ringleader. I don't know. Can we say that? I take this very seriously. I can't miss coffee break. Sometimes it happens, but it doesn't happen often. And I think when it does happen, you understand. But I'm here for you, and you're here for me. Simpatico. Together we make this stuff work. Yo, say Kidlet. I said, hey, tell Kidlet to rest up. And the hour melts away, but we got to go back to our lives. Oh, I like that, Fletch. Fletch, I'm gonna ring the bell for that. You can have my domino every Thursday. Mm. Love it. All right, you tell Kidlet to take care, brother. All right, you guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. This was fantastic. Remember your homework. I wanted to see those SUZE poses in my inbox. Foot it, cab it, iron horse it, however you get there. Right? You can meet me by railway. You can meet me on an aeroplane. I don't care how you get here. Just get here when you can. Guys, I know, I know, I know. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but we'll be back in a week, but not tomorrow. Still kind of nice with it too. Pony Express it. Put it in the pony. That's some school secretary pool stuff. It was in the pony. Oh, we're out, bro. We're out. We're going. We're getting out of here. All right. Good night, guys. Let's get those good nights in. You got to do Sue's proud. Let's say those good nights. Good night. Good night. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Good night, John Boy. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN with your internet safe space, your internet panic room, your internet hairbrusher. You come to me because you had a crappy week. You're like waiting for the bus and the bus don't come. You know about that. At the light, and then you get splooshed with a puddle and your brand new outfit. You know what happens. You look up at the sky and go, you Shawshank it. You look up at the sky and go, is it Thursday yet? And then I appear like a disembodied head in the clouds, and I smile and shine my love upon you. That's Coffee Break with JM. I've been Jamar Nicholas, your host for the past hour. And what happened here? I drank coffee and ran my mouth. And now that I'm out of coffee, we're out of here. See you next time.